To choose right monitor that will give you the most satisfaction for your needs. It's not as simple as it seems. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now. Hi everybody, this is Alex Fedekov, and today I'm in my studio trying to figure out which one of these monitors will be best for my needs, for my video editing and stuff like that. These are 34-inch diagonal monitors, and they look from distance pretty similar, I would say, but they are very different monitors. Like this one is curved, this one is flat, and there is many different things you have to consider when you're choosing right monitor for you. Like screen size, meaning how far away you're gonna see it from the monitor, aspect ratio, like these two are 21:9, and there is many different aspect ratios. Sorry. Resolution, of course, refresh rate, color accuracy, curved or flat, and what applications or what you're gonna use it for, which makes big difference when you're choosing monitor. Before we start, I just want to say that for those who is just starting to get deeper into video or photo editing, it could be a little overwhelming when you find yourself surrounded by terms such as LCD, OLED, TN, IPS, 8-bit, 10-bit, calibration, HD, 4K, resolution, HDR, aspect ratio, and so on and on. And if these are not confusing enough, there are other considerations, such as how big of a monitor do you need? Can you still get by with 1080, or do you need 4K or 5K display? Do you need a dual monitor setup? Maybe you'd like a display that has peripheral connectivities. Well, let's go step by step. Easy. It's not as horrible as it may look. First, let's talk about monitor size, display resolution, and PPI, or pixels per inch. When it comes to selecting a monitor for post-processing, size matters. Given the ever-growing resolution of images, bigger is generally better, so measure your workspace to see how large of a display it can comfortably handle. If you go in with Full HD 1920 by 1080 display, I would not go smaller than 21.5 inches. And for 4K display, you'll want to go a bit bigger to notice the benefits. I would suggest a minimum 4K display size of 27 inches, but from 32 inches or more will really let this resolution shine in 4K. And if you are going with 5K 5120 by 2880, I'd suggest a display of 34-inch or larger, although something like that could be cost prohibitive. I will also not buy a larger display than a resolution can handle, depending on how far you're gonna sit from the display. Suppose you will find a 32-inch Full HD display and the price is just right. While it may seem like a good deal, check its PPI, or pixels per inch. At 32-inch, the pixels of a Full HD display start to wear thin and look blocky, which is the opposite of crisp and clear. If you want a dual monitor setup, not only will you need the physical space, you also need to make sure that your system and GPU can power 2 or more monitors. And before we go any further with technical stuff of this video, I want to talk about the most important part of choosing monitor for you, and it's your eyes' health. And I know some young people maybe don't care yet about this much. Reason why I'm saying this, because I used to be young, and so I know how it goes. But anyway, at the end, you don't want to ruin your eye health just because you have chosen wrong monitor for your eyes. And believe it or not, we all have different visions, different eyes, and that's the reason why it's personal, and that's the reason why you have to do this on a personal level. And the only way I know how to do this is you have to choose what monitor you like, then take it home, put it in your studio, wherever you're working in, and then experiment with this. Is it going to be comfortable on the distance you're going to see it? Is this refresh rate good enough for your eyes? You know, how long you're going to work, how long you can handle this monitor, for how long you can work from this distance in this surrounding, and your eyes not getting tired, you don't have tears in your eyes and stuff like this. So that's the reason why you have to do it on a personal level. And we all have different perceptions of light, of colors, as you may know. I mean, some people may be more sensitive to blue spectrum of light, some people could be more sensitive to yellow spectrum of light, and so on and so on. Some people are even colorblind, but some people not completely color, just for some specific colors. And because your eyes may have shift in some colors, that's the reason why you have to use scopes in a program, because scopes don't lie, and they give you exact representation of colors what you see on the screen. And then when you post your video or whatever you're doing, it will be more accurate to average eye vision. And there is lots of stuff going on, but I don't want to make this video too long on this subject. So if you guys interested about technical stuff about our eyes, our vision perception and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go back to video. Now let's talk about panel type, viewing angles, and LED versus OLED. When it comes to displays, there are a few unique panel types. For creative content work, I personally would not recommend TN panels. They have limited viewing angles around 1960 degree, and in most cases can't produce the level of colors accuracy creative applications require. They also generally only represent 6 bits of color and use dithering to display all colors. And TN monitors only display a limited color gamut. IPS. Hey guys, where is the monitor?
It's coming. Sorry.
Thank you. In plane switching displays are solid option for creative content professionals. They are true 8-bit or 10-bit, full color reproduction with no dithering, have wider viewing angles, usually 170 degrees or higher, and can reproduce a much larger color gamut. They also offer fast response time and refresh rates. There is also MVA or multi-domain vertical alignment panels. They are 8-bit, and quality-wise they sit between TN and IPS for viewing angles, refresh rate, brightness, and color reproduction. So I don't want to talk about those because they are not for content creators. Whichever panel you'll select, it will be most likely LED backlit display, which is the dominant display technology by far. However, don't be surprised if you see OLED displays slowly creeping up on the market. OLED technology is more common on TVs, smartphones and tablets, and will eventually show up on computer displays. In short, LED displays use a backlight to illuminate their pixels, while OLED displays produce their own light, and its brightness can be controlled on a pixel-by-pixel basis. However, OLED displays just starting to appear on the market and have very limited feedbacks that, in my opinion, not enough to make educated decision. Plus, my understanding that OLED displays have noticeably stronger burn-in or permanent image retention refers to this gradual degradation of pixels. Burn-in isn't unique to OLED displays. CRTs, LCDs, and plasmas are also susceptible to some degrees. Image retention on OLEDs displays is caused by uneven degradation of the pixels of which the display is comprised, and they are much more expensive too. So, for all these reasons, I would stay away from OLED monitors for a while. And now let's talk about 8-bit or 10-bit, HDR, color gamut, finish, and calibration. Simply put, 10-bit displays can reproduce 1.07 billion with B versus 16.7 million with M by 8-bit displays. Huge difference, isn't it? If you are opting for a 10-bit display, be aware that there are true 10-bit displays and 8-bit displays that use frame rate control technology to enhance the color depth by 2 extra bits. If money not an issue, of course, it's better to go with a true 10-bit display as compared to 8-bit display plus FRC or frame rate control technology. There are also displays with a built-in lookup table, known as LUT, that can store color calibration information, and high dynamic range display or HDR. They will not create new physical colors, but the increased brightness will enable more shades, gradients, and nuances for its 16.7 million or 1.07 billion colors. Do you need support for specific color gamut such as sRGB, Adobe RGB, or DCI P3? sRGB is generally the default color space for non-critical imaging and web-based work. It is a current standard of sorts, especially for playbacks and online viewing, but it is not the widest of color spaces for printing or video editing. If you are printing photographs, it's the best to have a monitor that can cover all the wider Adobe RGB color space, or at least 99–98% of it, to ensure accurate colors when printing. And for cine applications, DCI P3 is the more common color space to aspire to. Digital cinema projectors can display this color space in its entirety, as well as iMac Retina display from 2015 and later. Matte, anti-glare, or a glossy display, which is better? A matte display helps cut down on glare and reflections, but at the cost of reduced contrast and color intensity. While glossy screens are more prone to glare, reflections, fingerprints, and smudges, but they produce a greater perceived color depth and vibrancy. So it's your choice of compromises. Aspect ratios, 16:9 or 21:9. Aspect ratios are straightforward. The days of 4:3 aspect ratio displays are gone, so how wide do you need to go? 21:9 displays are much wider than 16:9 displays. And connectivity and accessories. If you could use some extra connectivity, think about using a display with an integrated hub, which can provide the user with USB Type A, Type B, and Type C, Thunderbolt, HDMI, DisplayPort, and Mini DisplayPort connectivity. And these all most important things usually I'm looking for when I'm buying a display. Alright, the tests are over, and for my video work, I'm choosing this monitor, which is 5K 2K 34-inch ultra-wide 5120 by 2160 resolution, and the aspect ratio is 21:9. It's the same aspect ratio and same 34-inch wide as another one, but they have two big differences. First one is refresh rate. The other one has better. It's 144 Hz compared to 60 Hz. But because this one has better resolution, and because of that, it gives me longer working space for the timeline, which will give me more comfortable environment to work and will save time. So that's why I'm choosing this one or another one. The other one is good too, but and especially when you consider it's $500 cheaper, but because of resolution and size of timeline, I'm choosing this one. I hope to keep it as long as possible, but nowadays with technology, you know, when it's changing, everything is changing very fast. Like Apple computers, when they came up with M1 chip and surprised everyone, like, wow, these computers are great. I have actually I bought two Mac Mini M1s. If you saw my previous videos, I'm comparing those. One is 8 GB RAM and another one is 16 GB RAM. And I'm surprised, like, wow, these computers are just great. They're working so fast without any problem. Some people report that they have Bluetooth problem. I have not got yet, and I hopefully will never do, but you never know. Oh, okay, so back to monitors. This monitor I'm gonna use with another monitor, which is 24-inch, 16 by 9 aspect ratio. This one is 4K, and it's a good size screen to have in front of you when you're doing color adjustments, color grading, and you know, all that jazz. So it's very good monitor for that. This size of comparing to this size, what you have over here, so it's great. So I'm happy with my choice, and if you guys think I could have done better with $1,400 monitor, if you have any better suggestions, please write it in comments, so I will look into that monitor too. And if you have any questions, please ask me, I will answer. If you like this video, if it helped in some ways, please give me a thumb up. And if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe, click that notification bell, so every time I will post new videos, you will know. And I'll see you in next video. Bye-bye now.